Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. And we are here today to talk about product of the month. We're going to do a little creative stuff and all of those fun things. So if you're watching live, make sure to say hi and let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching on the replay, make sure to let us know you're watching on the replay. Okay, so today is December the 10th, Wednesday, December the 10th, 2025. And 10 days ago, no, I think it was 8 days ago. It doesn't really matter. During the month of December, Stampin' Up! Launched their first product of the month. We have known this is going to be coming for a while. I didn't share too many details because we really didn't have a lot of details as to like what it was going to be, like the finer details of like how you earned it and all of those things. But slowly we've been getting more and more information. And this month it is a paper pack. So we're going to talk a little bit about product of the month first. Okay, so I have some graphics to keep me on point, and so you can kind of figure out what I'm talking about when I'm talking about it. Okay, so the product of the month, I have how you get it. So follow these simple steps. Super easy. So log into your Stampin' Up! Account. Add your products to your basket. When you spend $100 in one order, you can purchase the product of the month. Make sure your total is at least $100 before like taxes and shipping, and before you turn in any of your rewards. Once you reach the qualified amount, you can add the product of the month to your basket and then enjoy the product. It says literally step number 5, enjoy the product of the month. Okay, so we're going to be doing some enjoying the product of the month for December. So let me see, I can close that one down. Okay, so then I'm going to keep on talking. So for whoever has not seen, there we go, the product of the month just yet, it is a 12 by 12 package of designer series paper this month, right? So the product of the month will change every month. They have said it will be like a different selection of products. So it could be paper, it could be stamps, it could be die cuts. All we know so far is this is December. It's called True Blue Florals. I'm going to make a couple cards in a second. You're also going to see some more stuff across my page this month because it is the product of the month. So there are a few things though that you should know. So there is like an urgency to it. When the product of the month sells out, it is gone. That's just like whatever they brought in, they're going to sell, and once it's gone, it's gone. Okay, so to help you all play a little bit more with the product of the month, I have joined a tutorial bundle group. So this is how that's going to work. If you order $100 from me before taxes and shipping and Stampin' Rewards and all those disclaimers, during the month, you will also earn the tutorial bundle. So there's 12 of us, including myself. So you will get at the end of the month a PDF to your inbox that will include the 12 tutorials. And I'm going to put my little graphic up on the screen because I actually have it here. Oh, and look at that. It's right across my face. That's not good. Okay. So this is the group for the tutorial bundle. Bonus projects. And we are like an eclectic group, right? So everybody has a little different style. Everybody does a little bit different something. So the projects, I keep wanting to say product of the month. The projects could include cards, scrapbooking page, 3D items, like all of those things. And because everybody has kind of a different like lane that they're in, I think you're going to see a variety of projects. So I've already seen 4 of the 12 and you're going to love them. So you can earn the product of the month tutorial bundle, like I said, from me for free if you place an order of $100 on my shopping website this month. Okay. If you can't do that, it will be in my PDF shop later at the end of the month. But the easiest way to get it is to place an order with me. So as you also know, on top of that, for every $60 you spend on my website too, I give you a workshop guide for free. So you're getting a lot of good stuff. But, okay, I think we've rambled long enough. Now let's start creating something. And if you have questions, always feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer them. So you can either add it in the comments here. Just always remember there's a lag, so I might not catch them all live. Or obviously, if you're watching on the replay, then I'm not live answering the question. But I do come back and go back and answer as many questions as I can. So let's now take a look at what the actual product of the month is. Okay, I'm going to add my desk in here. Okay. We might need another light. We have entered those dark, dreary days of winter here. Okay. So this is like the advertising for the product of the month. And we're going to actually make these 2 cards today. So you'll see, I'm not promising how many times just yet, but you will see a variety of projects extra here on my page over the course of the month featuring the product of the month. Okay, so like I said, this is the little advertising, and we're going to play with those 2 cards as our inspiration. So I do have some extra stuff, obviously. I've grabbed the vellum because who doesn't love the vellum? I've grabbed some white card stock, but we're going to take a look at the product of the month. I think that I have at least 1 sheet of every piece of paper left that I have not cut into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, perfect. I actually have 1 of each left. Here we go. Let's move this out of my way without dumping over my glass of water. Okay. So let's put it this way so our flowers are going the right direction. Okay, so because I only have 1 sheet left of each, I'm going to fold it over so you can see all the back sides too. But you will get 2 sheets in your package. So this is a fun pinstripe. And then on the back is this balmy blue floral paper, right? Then there is this pretty pattern. And then on the back are these large, so it's on balmy blue. I would say that's native navy. So the colors, I think all they say are balmy blue and native navy. So those are the coordinating colors, right? Then there's this piece with the leaf on it. And then the back has that same like pinstripe, but this one is actually smaller. So it is slightly different, but that's like the balmy blue version of it. And then there's this piece with the little leaves on them. And the back side has this native navy like vine with little tiny balmy blue flowers. And then I think this actually might be my favorite piece. I really love the Night of Navy with the balmy blue, like, because these leaves and little floral images are actually balmy blue. They're not white. And then the back side is this print. And then this is the last one. So kind of a whitish pattern or white pattern. And then on the back side is this balmy blue and leaves with the little Night of Navy leaves there. So if you guys have any questions about the product of the month, make sure to ask. So you will get 2 sheets of each of those. Okay, so then, like I said, we're going to, because I tell you guys all this all the time, like pick something as an inspiration and start there, but kind of do your own thing with it. So, like I said, we're going to kind of start with these as our inspiration for our cards today. So I was like, do I actually? I thought it was maybe, because lots of times when I'm actually like working on like designing the cards, I just have like a piece of white willow that's just the like size of the front of the card. So sometimes I don't actually have a full card base with me. But I do have a full card base here. I'm just going to move that up there. And maybe I'll put this over here so you guys can see. Okay, so we are going to start with the balmy blue Saint-Cam. There we go. I actually thought it was super interesting that they went with like the kind of like a monochromatic theme for the paper. So it's all blues. So here they brought in garden green. I wanted to do a different color green. So we're going to do a soft seafoam. So, right, like I said, switch it up how you like. So this one is like a full card front, and I know I'm going to run out of, you know when you're right at the end, but you want to get every last drop out of your tape runner? That is the situation we are at. But we're going to keep on going. I think I still have a little bit in here. There we go. It's not every day you see somebody use their tape runner. Yes, so the fun thing is, and actually I'm going to do that with the second card. I think there's so many ways to actually make all the blues just pop by adding different colors to it. So this one, like I said, we're going to stick with the kind of the blues and the greens like they did. Okay, so there we go. We're going to see if I can actually create this whole card with my seal open like that. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to go with the softer, like soft seafoam. And this piece is from the Nested Essentials dies, right? One of those like staple dies. Like this, and I think like stylish shapes, right? Okay, so we're going to go about here. And the fun thing is, because there's lines on this paper, it's super easy to line up something if you want it straight. Okay, so then I fussy cut out some of the images from this paper, and I'll show you actually which piece they're from. They are from this piece, and then on the back side is this like white pattern. Okay, so we're going to kind of see. So we're going to do something like that. Okay, and then I punched a circle with my 2-inch circle. Okay, and we're going to use the same sentiment because I thought, well, I know it fits on the circle. And after the holidays, right, I'm kind of over feeling like I want to create more holiday cards. So this one said, this is from The Right Words, and it says, I know a good thing when I see it, and I see lots of good things in you. Like, how nice is that? Like, who would not like to get that card in their mailbox? Seriously. Okay, so so my other card, I'm going to stamp Knight of Navy. But if I'm going to have green on here, I want it in at least 2 places. So we actually are going to, but I think that soft seafoam is too light. So we're going to try garden green. Or let's just think about this. I could use garden green ribbon instead. I want that ribbon. And of course, I don't see it. I wanted the ribbon with the stitching on the side. Not that one. Well, if it's not there, where would it be? Nope, we're going to have to use, we will not be using green ribbon because I do not see it anywhere. You know, the one that's green that has just a little tiny stitching on the side. Now I'm trying to remember what it's called. Let me look. Because that would look pretty if somebody else wanted to do it. So there's the garden green chevron one. And I'm not feeling like twine on this card. So it's the shaded spruce and soft seafoam 1/2-inch ribbon. I think you could use that one too. But I don't seem to see it in my container of ribbon. So we are going to move on from that. Going to let it go. So there we go. Super pretty. Okay, so we have this. So let's close up our ink. And I'll set that aside. You guys know I'm like a sucker for when the sentiments are like mixed fonts, right? So the script and the printed. So, okay, so I have the Secret C ribbon. This is the faux linen ribbon, and we are going to put kind of like I say to make sure it's enough, and then I can cut it, and then I'll be okay. So I have extra. We'll cut it off in a second. Okay. So first, I'm going to add my fussy cut pieces. You guys, I can't believe I'm going to keep on using my seal to cover off, but okay. So then I just have to decide. Okay. I'm going to put some seal down because we're going to cover it with our sentiment anyway, right? But it'll give me something to stick my ribbon down to. Okay, and I have extra here so I can trim it off. And I just need a little bit here. There we go. Okay, and we will let's take the one without the sentiment on it. I gave myself extra just in case. So let's pop this up on some dimensionals. Actually, let's do something before we put our sentiment on. Let's blueberry bushel. Misty Moonlight. Okay, I just want to kind of break this up a little bit. So we're going to go Secret C. So I have my blend for Secret C. We're just going to splatter our background, but I don't necessarily want it on my sentiment. So I'm just going to take my brush end very pretty. And then I will also splatter with a little bit of Wink of Stella. And I have to remember to bring out any Wink of Stella. Okay. Definitely. There's a little bit on there. Good enough. Okay, so then I'll add my sentiment the right way up. Like that. Let's trim our ribbon. Okay, and then we're going to use the flat pearls the 2025 to 2027 in color flat pearls and add them. So this is the Secret C color. You have a good day at work. So super pretty. So, and you can see the little bit of splatter in the background. It kind of just breaks up all the blue on the paper, I thought, but I didn't want it necessarily on my sentiment. Okay, so let's do the second one, because you guys all know I love like a fun fussy cut image card. So, but of course I've made some changes here, and we're going to do things. So I fussy cut out like a whole pile of the flowers because we'll use them, right? Like I said, we'll use them on other projects. Let's see. Okay, I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. I think okay. So this is the second card that's kind of our inspiration, right? So we're going to do a few things a little bit different. I did not want the garden green in there. So I actually went with vellum. So I took the same die cuts and I cut them out of vellum, and we're going to tuck them in. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of them here. Okay, and they made an anniversary card which features the sentiment from Layers of Beauty, but I actually think we're going to use this Grateful for You because I know exactly how I'm going to give it to you, this card already. So like I said, I cut those leaves, and they're from this Layers of Beauty, right? The dies that go with that from the vellum. So I have some stylish shapes, circles, and I have another punched out one. But the other thing that I have here is I'm going to actually add mine on a piece of Secret C just to give it a little bit of a, like a tiny bit of a border. But we're going to build it on this piece of Balmy Blue. And what did I make my piece of paper? 3.5 by 5.5. Okay, and it's kind of going to go like this with like our little bit of Secret C. But I'm going to build it on this piece, and I'm going to overhang it, and I'm going to cut it off and add it to our piece of Secret C with our card front. But okay, wait a second here. I got a lot of things going on. So like I said, theirs was a happy anniversary. I'm going to change it, and we're going to go Grateful for You. And I want to do something with the little flowers too. But we're going to do something different with the flowers. Okay, we don't need, this is for the other card here, Chris. Push that to the side. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's go with Night of Navy, pink, okay, There's our stamped image. We'll put this aside. So you can see, oops, that's the problem with having your lid off your tape runner, right? It's going to stick to everything. They colored on their little white flowers with a blend, and I'm pretty sure it's like Lemon Lolly or Daffodil Delight, or you could do Darling Duckling too. But I want kind of a softer look. So I'm going to, so I have like 3 sets here. Okay. 2 smalls and a full. And I actually have my watercolor pencils. And we are going to go with either, I think we're going to go with Flirty Flamingo. Okay. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color to the flowers, and then I'm going to blend it out. But we just have to decide if we'll use Wink of Stella, which might be a problem. As you guys saw, I have like almost no Wink of Stella left there. So also, if you wanted to do the happy anniversary, I actually used the Sign Designs punch for it, and it fits kind of perfectly on there. And I liked that it was, you know, like that fun shape. So let's so I'm just adding a little bit of watercolor. Like I said, I kind of just wanted that soft look versus the like really dense color from the blends. Okay, so first we can so you can see it's just adding just a little bit of a subtle color to them. I like that. Okay, so we did, like I said, Flirty Flamingo. And always kind of go lighter. You can always add color. It's much harder to take it away, right? You could actually add green onto the leaves too, because there's like a garden green watercolor pencil. You could also, like I said, add green to the leaves if you wanted. So I'm just using my blender pen. You could also use Wink of Stella, but as you saw, I needed to, oh, I thought maybe there was one in there. There's not one in there. I thought there might be one in there. Yes, those are very pretty actually. Okay. We are in the home stretch now. These little ones come together very quickly. And then if you wanted to switch colors, right, you just brush out your blender pen on a piece of paper, and then you can run it through a new color. No problem. I'm very much feeling like I want to still put Wink of Stella on them. I actually think we may have to open one. Okay. I was much more successful at finding a Wink of Stella versus finding my ribbon. So that is strange. It should be in that container with my ribbon. I don't know. It is green, so I could have taken it and used it for starting to wrap, right? Because I wonder if that's where it is. Because I know I took some ribbon for hanging tags off presents. Okay, if you've never opened a Wink of Stella, right? When it comes, it's like sealed. So you pull off the ring and then screw it on, and it starts the flow. And just make sure you actually have it all the way down. And then where it says push, you can push and you can see, there we go, the sparkle start to come. There we go. Oh, they're just a little bit sparkly. Yeah, I think that'll be nice, just with like the color just there and the sparkle just there, other than we might splatter at the end. Okay, lid, there we go. We have a little hunk of gold here though. There we go. We're just going to take some of that out. Okay, so now, like I said, we're actually going to build it on this piece so that we can trim out our pieces. Okay, we're done with the watercolor pencils. So I can move that to the side. We have our card base and our Secret Sea. Okay, so let's start here, I think. So there's this one that's already cut off, right? So it's the edge of the piece of paper. Still use those pieces, right? So we're going to just add some adhesive. I'm going to hang it off just a little bit off the edge, and then I can still trim it, right? And it'll look like it started off as the full flower. Okay, so I'm just going to hang it just slightly off the edge so I have a little bit to trim. And then I can tuck my vellum. So I'm just going to use a glue dot. I just need to tuck it enough that you can't see my dot. Okay, but I need to, for visual for myself, trim. So I flipped it over, right? And I'm just trimming it right to the edge. There we go. And we're going to hide one of these under here. So I'm going to add a glue dot to the top. And I can actually cut off a whole bunch of that because we don't need it. And I can add either some more glue dots or just a little bit of glue. Just I have to know that I'm not going to put something else over top of it. Okay, so let's kind of start laying some more pieces in here. So another set of leaves, and maybe these skinnier ones. Like so. And let's do a big piece like that. So I'm going to adhere these first. Okay, let's add our they are pretty die cuts, and that die has been around forever, right? So and they're just like nice and little to tuck into things. So I'm sure most people, and even if you don't have this set of dies, right, I'm sure you have something kind of similar. Like I said, I think I'm just like over doing some Christmas for a few days. I still have to finish all my wrapping and all that kind of stuff, but okay, so this one I am not going to push it down all the way just yet because I'm going to tuck, I think, a few of the vellum pieces in here. So, and the nice thing is, right, they're matchy, you know, I always like that. So there's like a big bundle and then just two little ones. And you can obviously also cut off this one if you wanted just like a smaller amount. But it just kind of gives it another fun little texture. And I'm going to tuck this in. That's why I didn't push that down, but I wanted to know where it's going to go first. Whew, that's a jumper. Okay, so I'm just like, tuck that in there. Let's pick another flower here. Wonder if I have a partially cut one. No, that's okay. So I want this one like this, and then this one here. And I'm gonna do glue on this piece. And you're going to see there are pieces that are hanging off. I'm going to trim those off in a few seconds. And then this I can do under here. Oops, you guys. I don't know my own strength today. Now I have a smaller bundle. Maybe I could tuck that in right there. See, and this way you really don't have to worry about running out of stickers or anything. Okay, so now I can turn it over and start trimming so I can get some perspective on, because it looks so funny right now, right? Because it's not its real like dimensions. Okay, so here I just need to be careful. I need to either cut that all off. I think I'm going to have to. Yeah. We'll see. I can still use, right, my offcut pieces. So this one actually will be perfect right there. That worked out well. Okay. So, and I really like actually how the vellum is with the little white flowers. Okay, so then, like I said, I wanted just like a very skinny little mat on there. And I'm just making sure we don't need to add any more glue, just in a few spots. And I'm just gonna roll up my little glue dot here. And I don't think, there you go, you can't even see it. Okay, so let's move some of these seeds. So see, I even kept like some of just the little leaves. Or right here's another off-cut flower, right? I could use the other half. So like I said, I kept the pieces from the edges. So we might have a plan for the rest of these pieces coming later this month. I love the fact that they started off with a paper pack, I'm sure. Okay, there we go. That's all garbage. This I'm going to put just to the side together so I don't lose them. Because that would happen to me. Okay, so I can add some adhesive to the back. So then my secret C piece here, I did 5.5 by 3 3/4. So I just have, right, like I said, I like that little skinny little border there. So you can see how all the kind of layers come together. So then on my card base, we are going to put the pin back in my glue because it is dry here already. So oh, we're getting right to the end, guys. Okay, so, and I want it with, we're just going to do like a skinny little white border on that side. Like that. Now I'm just feeling like maybe yep. I'm going to trim this down, but I want it to be able to work with a bigger piece than I need. So this is again just the Secret C ribbon. Okay, and I'm going to go right about here, right? So I'm going about 1/3 of the way down from the top is where I want my sentiment to hit. I'm going to trim those out in a second. I'm going to add this with some dimensionals. And we'll add some of the secret seed dots to it. I'm going to splatter this just with Wink of Stella dimensionals. I do, there we go. I know I had them out already, but they seem to have disappeared from my view in front of me. That's okay. Maybe I put them away already. Wouldn't that be crazy? Okay, actually, you know what I'm going to do? We are going to splatter, but just this circle. Okay, and I already put the dimensionals on it and I took the backs off. So we're going to use my little silicone mat so that it won't stick. But I'm just going to dump the garbage off of it. So because it's already sticky, I'll just lay it down here. And I have my secret C. We'll do the light one again. Ah, yes. Okay. It's just kind of enough to break it up. And then that's just Wink of Stella. And I'll do Wink of Stella on this part. Okay. There we go. Now, this is already sticky. I knew there was one that I hadn't taken off yet. Okay, there we go. And just use a few more the Secret Sea Gems dots. Flat pearls, how about we call them those? That. You can tell I really liked the orange ones. So I might have to tack that down. I think it's just funny where I cut it on the roll. So there we go. Okay, so there are our first two projects with the product of the month for December. right, which is called True Blue Florals, right? True Blue Florals. So when you put $100 in your cart, you can add it for $5. And don't forget, if you do that, you will also at the end of the month receive my tutorial bundle, right? And this will also be available as PDF in my PDF shop if you can't shop with me. Oh, Jane, you're going to love it. Love it. And I think that one of the fun things that I'm very intrigued with about the product of the month is, whoa, we're very crooked, is the fact that they're going to be different things. So it's not always going to be just a stamp, or it's not always just going to be a pack of paper, right? So that there'll be a variety of things. So from the standpoint of even being part of the tutorial team, right? Like that's the fun part for me, because it won't always be like the same thing over and over again. I love the variety. So that is what I've got for you guys today. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will jump back and answer any questions that come in after. And I do understand, right, that it's a new program and everybody have to get used to it. So there could totally be questions, and I'm happy to answer them the best I can. So I hope you guys all have an awesome day. We'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.